Yeah. That was pretty smooth. Smooth little intro.
Back in the building.
Back in the building once again. Oh yes, Heyward CPA Live, the podcast. I'm adding that on there. More boat. Look for the t-shirts,
the podcast,
sweatshirts out there,
hoodies.
Oh, of course. When I say sweatshirt, I mean hoodie. That's default for me. So here we are, back again 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Little things. We got a little Christmas tree on the board here. A little something going on right there. Show you what's happening. Holiday time, Christmas time in Hollis, Queens.
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year. Yes, indeed. So we back again. This is wonderful. So what's good? What's good over there? You got the aura though. You got the aura light though. That's like, is that the light of knowledge? It's like the light.
I haven't figured it out yet. Playing around. New things are going on.
Yeah. We're not even gonna mention them. They
no, absolutely not.
They subtle. You see, if you've been a long time viewer, if you're a listener, not so much. But if you're a long time viewer, you might be noticing this, that, and the other. What's going on? So,
matter of fact, to piggyback off, we're gonna get into some questions, but I want to put a pin in this real quick to piggyback off of what you said. If you were around, so these are what we call. Well, I think one of our questions from the last episode was, how do I grow my business, right? We're going to get a little bit more into that, but this is what you call inflection points as you graduate through the process. So we'll put a pin in that and we'll come back to it.
Inflection points. You okay. This is so we're at an inflection point.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
Yes.
If you get that concept, you know what's happening. You understand. So today, in another session of Q&A, pretty good. Got 4 or 5 more questions from the people. Don't forget, you're still eligible. We're gonna run it through the end of the year. We'll announce the winner in the first show of the new year. So submit your questions, whether you're watching us live or you're watching the recording, you're listening. You can submit questions through social media, through our Instagram page, Heyward CPA page, but our page on LinkedIn. Let's do it like that. Or on the YouTube channel in the comments of this video. Submit your question for a chance to win some money. How about that? We ain't even gonna get all extravagant. For a chance to win some money, gift card. We give out the gifts in the new year because our celebratory time is we put it around the tax season because people recognize that. So we're starting to do things in January. So we're giving away stuff in January. And if it feels good, we may give something away. We may give something away. I'm feeling it today. We may give something away every show. How about that?
Oh, wow.
24. Something away now. Let's not. You might get anything. Why not? For our supporters, whatever, that want to hear what we got going on, we give stuff away. So submit, but you got to submit a question. Look, I'm upping it. You got to subscribe to the channel. And so wherever you go, you got to join it. You got to like the page. You got to join the LinkedIn page. Submit your question. And if we read your question on the air, you are the winner. That's the rules. I think.
How about do they share it on their page as well? Do we want to include that?
Well, yeah, if they win, our response. They got.
No, I mean if they've got to like us, subscribe to us, and then share any kind of post on their page, then submit their question.
Well, we'll step that up right now for the level that we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna rock. We're gonna rock. We'll do level 1. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll up the ante and then up the requirements.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to make it too hard right now. You know what I'm saying? I just want them to get in the game. Because what we're doing is, what this is really linked into the first question of the day. We have a new tack, people. We have a new focus, got a new attitude, we got something new happening here. And we've been talking about it, but now we're sharing it with you. It's about community building. And we're gonna talk about that as well. I'm gonna put a pin in it just as Mr. Cortez earlier. But it's a movement happening. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? I don't know if you hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go too far because next thing I had to get squeegee.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
I gotta get discussion. But anyway, all right, we ready. No, let's go. Let's go. So don't forget. But I'll remind the promo at the end. And we're gonna start advertising that promo because we want people to be involved because we want to be here for you. That's the whole point.
Well, it's engagement.
We've pontificated for 2 years. Pontificated. Good stuff, I might add.
Absolutely.
But we want to know, our intent is, to be a help source, to be a source of help. And the best thing about it is, for you, it's absolutely free. Heck, I'm up here offering to give you something to get questions answered. Think about
it. What did your man say? He said, take the 500, invest $9.99, and it's all in the music.
That's exactly. And look at this. We're giving you a rebate on the $9.99.
True.
You got a chance to get it back. So you pay free $99 for the information with a chance to get. It's like a refundable tax credit. But all right, going too far. Let's hit the question. There you go. There you go. Wu-Tang's for the kids. Okay. Just got a message. It's another message. All right. So what's our first question for the day? What we got going on?
Our first question is, let's start here. How do I grow my business?
Whoa.
Because that's going to lead into the other level downs, right?
Yeah. Wow.
How do I grow my business?
A lot of room for that one. A lot of room. Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah. Well, matter of fact, interestingly enough, I have this resource because I like to read and gain new information. Okay. And, we talk about inflections. Inflections are just really changes in the situation. Right. And so how do you grow your business? You have to know what you're selling. What are you selling? I think we covered this in the last episode. What are you selling? Who are you selling to? The what, the why, and how. Then how are you going to sell it? Where they're hanging out. So that's surface level, right? Front facing. But in growing your business, ideally, you want to work on the business. Most of us have to work in the business, but there has to be a level of compartmentalization, which will allow you to work on your business, right? So I'm just going to read some key points here that I have, right, to work on your business. And this also alludes back into one of the other questions that was submitted in the chat that someone had another question about. But ensure direct connection between the leaders and the people at the edge of your company. Now, how do you ensure the connection? Well, you want to get people to buy in. You want to have people buy in. You want to keep people regulated to your vision and the mission of the organization. And how do you do that? By understanding what levels of training, what level of support, what levels of, I should say, comfortability that they have in communicating what they see, right? It's a team effort. It's a team effort for a company to grow. You can't build a company by yourself. You have to have a team of supporters. You have to have a team of employees and staff and management that is going to continuously push the vision and the mission forward. So that's the foundation, the foundational approach to growing a business, is that you can't do it by yourself. Initially to start, but you cannot do it by yourself, right? Leverage diverse perspectives. Sometimes we get so caught in our own perspectives that we don't leverage the perspective of others, whether it's directly or indirectly, right? Use a deliberate decision-making process for high risk and irreversible decisions that have enormous implications for your business, right? Create small educational bets, right? So everyone in the organization can participate. This encourages more creativity and innovation, right? And helps to build leadership, because that's, as the owner of a business, as the leader of the business, that is a part of the role, is continuous leadership and continuous improvement of yourself and amongst others. Right. I got 2 more other points, 3 more. To have direct exposure to the environment, to get to know the customers, and to get to know how the customers feel about your business. Wow. Because that's something that we talk about a lot, and we keep refining that, because people don't know what they don't know. They go off of emotion. They go off of what someone told them. They go off of what the media is saying. They call us. They're dealing with some tax questions in their business, and it relates over to operational. It relates over to something other than, but the initial question is why they called, right? Create incentives that reveal accurate information about your business. Okay. This one is key. We talk about this one a lot, because we say information, all information is good information, is how you use it, right? So do not turn a blind eye to any negative information that may impact your organization.
That's serious. That's so all right. Yeah, because I think I got blipped out, like Thanos snapped or something, and I disappeared for a minute. So this was coming from
this is coming from my informational book, right? Some key points that I jotted down as I was reading this information, and in relation to growing the business.
Okay.
Right? I'm not sure where you dropped off at, but I think the second.
I can hear you. I heard the point.
Oh, okay, got you.
I couldn't respond. It was like the blip. I was like,
got you.
I don't know what happened over here. Like, for real. So,
and then the last one is ensure you expose yourself and your organization to where the future is unfolding. Foresight.
Okay. Very good points. Excellent points. So I have some comments about the points.
Sure.
Well, not necessarily about the points. I think one thing in answering this question is those are steps, those are things to do to grow the business. The question is, what does that look like on a daily basis? Because I think the entrepreneur's challenge or the business owner's challenge is, how do I do this? I mean, because our first goal, our first mission is surviving for the most part.
Generate revenue.
Yeah. When we like, how do I survive? And then we get these great insights from books and or podcasts or what have you that tell you need to do more is essentially what we're saying. We're not saying it, but we're saying, yeah, there's more that you need to do, more than just showing up for the day's activity and going through the sales and going through that. There's more you have to do. It's homework. Essentially, it's homework. Because that stuff is everything we talked about. There is some of it's habitual, like building a habit, and then some of it is just not like, like if you are a retailer, you have your day, you open, you do all this. So now I have to sit down and actually, when I get a negative criticism, I have to have the wherewithal to not snap because you're in the mix. Mm-hmm. So how do you do all those things, man? How do you carve out time? And that's kind of foreshadowing where I'm going. Like, I think a thing about growing your business is you have to schedule these soft skills just as much as you schedule everything else. Your ordering, which should be your financial oversight, which we all know how that goes. Mm-hmm. Your marketing, your operation. I call it on my folder I have is strategic planning. So, you could call it whatever you want to call it. It's, strategy, whatever, but it's not operations. It's another function. It's a business function. We talk about the different functions of business, but I think that, and it's in there. I think Gerber has it in there, but they're easily overlooked. And I think people overlook just going on what you just mentioned, how important it is to do that. How important. One thing I say is really important to think about where you're headed. So it's like when you take a trip, you get ready, everybody's hyped, you go get in the car. Why? Because you're thinking about the destination. You're not thinking about the tolls. You're not thinking about the traffic in Maryland. I mean, if you happen to be going north, it's like, but you're thinking about getting there. You think about, so your voice, you're thinking about there. You thinking about destination. That's easy not to do when you're running a business.
So that's good. You know what? You just gave the actual definition, because I find that in conversation, there's a lot of people that don't really understand strategy or strategic planning and how that lays out. So it's mapping out the direction and figuring out how you're going to get there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But you got to you have to make it as important as paying the light bill. You see what I'm saying? That's the trick. It's just as important as making payroll. It's just as important. Because if not, you just everywhere. I've seen it. I've done it. You absolutely everywhere. And what's the man? There's a saying that. Oh yeah. If you fall for everything, you stand for nothing. Mm-hmm. Something like that. It's very similar in your activity. There's going to be an emergency, or there's going to be a urgent situation from someone's perspective every day. Mm-hmm. Something urgent is going to come up, and you're going to be reactive. It makes you reactive. If you don't take time out to sit back, and I don't know if we answered it in the other questions, but if you don't take time out and sit back and say, you get to the question of why am I doing X, Y, Z? Why am I even doing this process? Which to me is part of strategic planning. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be jammed up. So you have to sit there and say, yo, and this is how you grow your business. You systematically think about, you put all the things that you mentioned in play, but you take all that, and that's a thing. That's a discipline. What you just laid out is a discipline. It's not, it's a nice to have. Yeah, it'd be cool. No. With as much tenacity as possible, mm-hmm. you apply yourself like that, because just like your trip, I'm here. I want to go there.
Right.
So if I have to get on the interstate, I'll do that. We talk about tactics against strategy. Tactics are defensive driving. You know, I'm stopping in 2 hours because I gotta go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? This is my exit where I get off to chill out. That's the tactic. That's how you get there. That's there. But what remains? I'm going from point A to point B. And if you don't know where point B is, I don't know. I don't know how you get somewhere where you don't know where you're going. And I'm talking, obviously we use numbers and financial data to as a GPS for that, once you know where you're going, but you have to do it. I mean, that's I think my 2 cents, which is more of an encapsulation of what you were saying, is like, yo, you have to do these things. You have to decide that you're going to do that. It's, we sitting here and, we say, and that's how you grow. Well, I mean, we can get into this, you need to grow your revenues by doing it. No, you have to detach and say, hold up. I need to know what I want this to look like in a year, 2 years, 3 years. And you have to
so that leads into remaining relevant. To remain relevant in the business world, right? You have to consider where your assumptions about your organization, your business need, whether it needs a fresh look or not. Case in point to what you just said.
Yeah.
Right. Then review the advantages of your business. You want to see if and when it's going to fade away. Right. So there's this metric in financial statements called current ratio, and current ratio dictates your existence cash flow wise in the business within 12 months. So if you look at that, or you look at the identifying factor of selling products or services, is it doing well? Is it not doing well? What is the predictor moving forward over 12, 24, 36 months? How does it align with the goals that you're trying to achieve over these periods? Do you have the right team members in place? If they're not in the right place, matter of fact, do you have the right people on the team, first of all?
Yes.
If they are they in the right place? Are we utilizing their skills and abilities properly? And what do we need to do to increase their bandwidth or their knowledge or skill sets to help drive that area of the business, right? Yeah. And then identifying the needs of your customers that they're willing to spend money on.
Yeah. So don't try to sell them what you want to sell. That's basically. I mean, that's basically what that is. Like, no, you're gonna buy this. This is what you want. Like, I mean, you can do it, but you have to spend a tremendous amount of marketing money to do that. But but if you're doing professional services, but even if you're selling goods, food or whatever, I mean,
food has got to have a taste. It's got to taste good.
Oh, right? It's got to taste good. I mean, that's just a guy look good and taste good. That's food. So, but yes, identifying the wants of the customer, which kind of is a appendix to what we were discussing last episode. In putting your avatar together for your clientele, who you're dealing with. So I know what you want. But this is a big question. How can I grow your business? It's a big question, and we've hopped in. We've taken a lot of time on this, but in it, we've actually touched on the other question:
hiring and managing employees.
Yeah, which was our next question, which we need to talk about because you brought it up. You said, "Yo, you can't do it alone," and I'll tell you this: having been doing something for a long time now, it is so cheap to get people now. I mean, it is like accessible. It's cheap, relatively speaking. That's not saying that wage. I'm not getting into the wage debate and all that. I'm just saying, as an owner or as someone running a business, it's easier to get assistance than any other time in the world. Because people are accustomed to gigs. They do stuff on the side. A lot of people, a lot of us have to do that. We have the Fivers, the Upwork. We have outsourcing. The internet has allowed a lot of this stuff to happen. So you can get people. So this is a similar thing. Let me take this question down. Because we're not talking about how to grow the business. Incidentally, yeah, there's something there. We're doing this for one of our people. It's monitored so they know. We go to the next question. So, like, how do you find how do you build the right team? That's the question. How do you build the team? And this goes back to the previous answer. The strategic plan, like you have to, what are you building a team for?
Mm-hmm.
Same answer. Same, like, what do you build? Because what happens a lot is we hire people for help, for like short-term help. We might think, say we have a bunch of stuff to process. We have a bunch of packages to send out. And we hire somebody to help us send the packages out. But we hire them now. Now they part-time, they with us. We get through that rush. And then we sitting there looking at them like, figure out what I need you to do.
What next?
Yeah, I got to figure that out. So you didn't hire according to a plan. You hired because of a short-term need, but you hired a longer-term solution. So if you got somebody like that came in, you was like, look, I'm going to give you a couple bucks for a couple of days to help me get caught up. Boom. But often what happens is you hire somebody because you don't run into people that will work for, a couple of days. Mm-hmm. So you once again, you did it without a plan. You just did it. We've all done it. Just do it. Then you got somebody and they sit up there looking at you. Then they become, then it's almost like they're your friends. So you paying for your friend to hang out with you. And then and then if you're not really ready to delegate, all you doing is you basically, they're hanging out with you and you kind of still doing all the stuff and they there and they may like go, take out the garbage or something. So you justify in your mind that you paying them for something because they around. And then, so you got like this friend person that you got. You paying for your friends. That's what you got. Why? Because you didn't have a plan for hiring somebody. You just said, yo, I'm going to get it. And so you can't do that. No. Yeah, you're going to make the mistake, but you got to correct that. And one of the ways is back to this, strategy, is admitting to yourself either what you should not be doing anymore or it's not you. So it's not you. So if you're somebody that, based on your business type, you're somebody that you don't, you're not good at small talk per se, right? You're not really good at small talk. Doesn't mean that you don't like people or anything. You're just not good. That's not comfortable. You probably shouldn't be running your customer support because there's a lot of small talk in customer support. It's probably not like that. Or sales, like that. If you do what you do and like, for instance, we'll stick with the e-commerce or shipping thing. You hand make a product all the time and then you have to stop and go ship out orders, so on and so forth. Well, the product can't be made without you. So, but it certainly can be shipped without you. It's a job that does not require you until you teach somebody how to make the product as well. Get somebody to help you to go ship it. And heck, they might do it better than you and more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand that and say, I don't need to do this anymore. I don't, of course you can do it. You can do everything. But where is your time best positioned? Where is your time? Where where is your time? And if you put an hourly rate, now this is maybe because first of all, you like in a way, I'm not going to get all technical with accounting and tax, but you're the first employee. So presumably your rate is higher than everybody else. So if you were just looking from the outside in, would you be paying the person with the highest rate to do a lower priority job? So let's just put it in numbers. Say we put, and I'll keep it somewhat modest. You worth $25 an hour. And, because your work is the work, like you do the revenue. People are paying for whatever you do. And that means you had to like clean up, take out trash, check the mail, open the mail, answer the phones, and all that. So you paying somebody $25 an hour to do all that stuff and to be the main driver of the revenue. That's not really where you want to go right there. So that's it's not sustainable. Number one, it's just not. And so you want to find somebody, so you want to know, oh, I need somebody that man my phones. I mean, I need somebody to hire my phones. Now nowadays we got apps, we have things to do it. But in general, I need somebody to man my phone. That's a need. I need somebody that you could. So I guess what I'm saying is you could you could modulate your hiring now. You can get specialists now. You can get somebody just for this. You could get some parsed up time. You don't have to go out hiring a full-time person or a 20-hour-a-week person unless it goes there. But to me, and I'll let you handle the managing part because I know you're chomping at the bit for that one. But to me, is understanding what you need. And you're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in hiring. Everybody. It's not necessarily that the person isn't good or bad. We often make mistakes by hiring at inappropriate times, we didn't really have the position thought out when we hire somebody. Hiring is tricky. It's very tricky because of my old axiom, everybody lies on interviews. So I'll say it again. I say all the time, everybody lies. They're like everybody. Ain't nobody ever told the 100% truth on their interview. So, somebody could prove me wrong, but I know for a fact. Because why? You going to embellish the parts that you trying to get a job. You lobbying for yourself. Where you going to sit there and be like, yeah, dog, well, really, I'm not really trying to work. I mean, I looked at the salary. Salary is cool and all that. It's close to my house. So, yeah, I mean, like that. My other job, and I was getting ready to get fired, but I figured I'd go make moves before then. You're not gonna tell them all that. So, like I said, an interview was a first date. Everybody tells them, you're lying, man. It's easy to tell you when you hungry, you gonna be like, yes. And and I give you the little scenario. Give me a situation where you so on and so forth, and you're gonna have that one situation. That situation is not gonna happen in my company, so it really doesn't matter what the heck you tell me. Anyway, I could go on and on about that. But what I'm saying is hiring is hard because people, it's like dating. Yeah, I'm waiting for them to come. Oh wow, man, we might be on, man. Yo, I just thought about it, like the Tinder of hiring, yo.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, that would be wild, man. Candidates come up, you like, I mean, they stuff would come up. You'd be like, man, nah, I ain't with this. I'm just saying. Yo, I'm just saying.
Boom, boom, boom. One time in my life, back years ago, I was front facing in sales, went to do an interview, right? So this kind of leads into what you were talking about. People could put on the fresh gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could look the part.
Yep.
Right. So I did an interview with this guy, pretty intense industry. So you front facing with clients. That's how you build your appointments online, and you go visit them. So anyway, at the end of the interview, I think he kind of liked how I ended up getting the job. But
Yeah.
again, this is a very long time ago. So we got to the end of the interview, and he was like, "Look, I'm getting ready to run out to an appointment. I'll walk out with you." So we walking out now. It turns from a technical interview into a collaborative, jelly beaning.
Yeah.
How comfortable you are. Like he's reading me the whole time, but I didn't know this until further down the road when he told me. Right?
Yeah.
Walks me out to he's like, "Where'd you park at?" I'm like, "I'm parked over there in the corner." So he's like, "Come on." Now, one of my things is whenever I drive a car, I just have to keep it clean. Inside and outside, especially when I'm going someplace, because it makes you feel good. Not only just putting on your clothes, but you just never know, right? So,
Yeah.
not that my car is dirty, but it's got to be clean inside and that's got to smell good. Got to have things in the right place. So I've generally been like that. So anyway, so he walks me over to my car. So this is a simple car, nothing spectacular. It's clean. He catches his eye. It's clean. I'm opening the door, put my bag in there, put my folders in there, and he's parked like 2 spaces over from me. So we ended up just having a conversation. He was like, "Nice to meet you." Sends me on my way. Says, they're still doing interviews. Someone to reach out to me within the next 3 weeks for the decision. Boom. I get home. In my email is the offer letter. So
Nice.
get hired, go do the job. Build a nice rapport with him over time, maybe 8, 9 months down the road. And he said to me, he said, "You know why I hired you?" He was like, "Not because you're good in sales, and not because you're a sharp dresser naturally." He said, from the time we walked out to the time we got to your vehicle, I knew who you were beyond what you were showing me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And
reality.
so that's the key is identifying, who you are as the business owner, right? Look at what you do every day and you ask yourself, okay, at different inflection points, at different levels of my business, what are some of the things that I could do to take off my list? Now, this is where it becomes challenging because you have to it's sort of a release. You have to trust yourself to release it to someone. Right. But before you could get there, you have to identify the steps that it takes for you to do something. So if it takes you 10 steps to do this one thing, keeping in mind that the person you're bringing in is not going to, they may have some familiarity, but there's nuances as an individual. What nuances can you write down? Can you teach them to make it almost similar as they're your double? In a sense, right?
Yeah.
And then those nuances you can use as trainable touch points over a period of time and write down those nuances and how that relates to any resources and the information that needs to be delivered because you still got to spend time with those individuals, right? And that's how you just keep doing. You show, you observe, and you shape the behavior of that individual. Now you get to manage the processes, which here's another issue. We manage the emotions of people, right? And then we get into, well, I just do it myself, right? They're not doing it. Let me just do it.
Yeah,
Just
that's the
do it
classic.
myself,
Yeah.
right?
Nah,
Not recognizing that life happens. People have personal things going on. So when you're able to manage the process, you can identify where there's some gaps or some weaknesses, and you can focus on that step in the process to help strengthen it. And it'll allow you to trust yourself to see the person for who they are. That way you can identify, are they intentional sabotagers? Then you gotta make a serious move. And then it's not personal, it's business at that particular point. So these are things, as James was saying earlier, these are, the idea is go out there and make some money. Everybody got to make money. But what happens, especially with beginner's luck, you go out there and you make a whole lot of money really quickly. Now you get overwhelmed, your bandwidth is beat up, your capacity is beat up, and now you're hiring from an emotional place because you don't want to lose the opportunities and revenues you have in place. You hire a bad person, they have bad personality, you don't know how to talk to them, you can't trust them, they're not self-sufficient, they're not self-starters.
Yeah. it's bad.
Conundrum. It's all bad.
Yeah, man, it is all bad. And that I going off of that, it was something else you said earlier that is from the book Good to Great with Jim Collins.
I love that book. It's right behind me too, by the way.
And yeah, I see it in red back there. Yeah. So the cover, but getting the right people on the bus and then putting them in the right seats. So when you hire, my philosophy is this. Similar to what the gentleman told you. If I interview somebody, I don't even ask them. I've had some of the wildest interviews where I've interviewed people because I ask a question that I know they're not prepared for. Because I'm not asking for regular questions because I'm not looking for regular people. So off top, what you've done before, all right, that's what got me to talk to you. But now my question is matching you off what I have going on. And we have our team here, there's a certain quality, there's a certain character, there's a certain culture to it. And it's not about you being exactly like anybody here, but it's like, do you fit? Do you fit? Does your uniqueness fit here? And it's not a heavy fit, it's not like this, this 10-point test to see. But some of it is, in case anybody out there ever wants to apply or it comes up. I mean, one of them is just being genuine. And so my question coming in for you, I always ask people what their story is. I'm like, what's your story? What you got going on? Because all the other stuff, I have to train you. So what you done before, I mean, yeah, it counts, but I know I got to train you. So now, but most importantly, what I have to do, I have to trust you. And I have to trust that who I'm talking to is who you gonna be. And that's what the gentleman was telling you. Like, yeah, you prepare for interviews. You gonna give me the interview all the way live. I know that. So I skipped that. I don't even, I don't even care about none of that stuff. So give me a time. I could care, and I'm serious too. I really don't even care about that. What I want to know is, are you gonna do what you say you're gonna do? And are you going to do what is asked of you? That's it. And that's what I need to know off top. And all the other stuff, I mean, because we're gonna have to train you. Every job you go to, you're going to be trained. So if you had a job previously, I'm going to assume you're trainable. So, I did so and this, so and so and that. So 8 out of 10 times is not going to be the same as we do it here. So yeah, okay, that's cool. Like that's that. So I always like to get the feel of the person. And another thing, as you mentioned here, do you have the desire to learn? Do you have the desire to learn?
That's so key right there,
if
man.
you don't have the desire to learn, you can't be in. I mean, that's how that goes.
But you just gonna fail out in the world anyway.
Yeah,
because learning is because it's this, especially in business as an owner, you're constantly trying to figure out how to move yourself out of the way.
Yeah,
and you got to learn from how others did it, right? And so learning is the key. Talking to people, reading some stuff, take some courses, joining groups, spending some late hours, writing down, strategizing, tactics. I mean, all kind. So it's a constant thing. It's you can't turn once you step foot in it. It doesn't really turn off. It either becomes your desire becomes stronger, or you become even more aggravated because you decide you don't want to do it.
Yeah, you don't want to do it, so you walk away, and that's fine. So even as an employee, it's not so much, the level. But if I'm running something and I'm constantly educating myself and I'm sharing it just, throughout the organization, and you just like, well, I ain't changing. I'm not saying you got to go find the learning. I put the learning on you and you reject the learning. I mean, you can't be here.
Well, you can't teach that stuff anyway. You can't teach desire. You can't teach.
No.
You can't teach when somebody. So, because information, everybody has access to the same information. So,
Yeah.
as you saying, if I give you this information, or this information is going through the firm, well, guess what? You at some point you got to pick it up, try to understand it. You may not be specific to it, but try to understand it and ask questions and see how it flows. Because you may need to do something that helps somebody. So remember, leadership or managers or bosses or whatever, and when you put people in place, it minimizes the steps they need to get to be and do what they need to do in their professional capacity. That's the purpose of having employees, right? That's the purpose of having a partner. That's the purpose of having teamwork, right? You minimize the amount of steps or actions that it takes for that person to play that position.
Yeah. And hereby minimizes the steps that you have to take in achieving the strategic goal. Let's see, this is coming full circle.
I'm done. I'm about to drop the mic on this one.
Oh, you're saying it is, but it's true.
Yeah.
And we started. How do you? Well, I think we only got 2 questions, but
it's all. Now we just got to run the string through the other 2.
Yeah. The other 2. Well, the other one was staying on. I think we've kind of answered that. The question was, how do you stay on top of industry trends? But that's learning. That's the learning. I mean, you got to learn your industry. You have to learn it. And you have to stay on top of these things. To nowadays, I know I say this all the time, but especially because things change so fast. Things change super fast now in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like it is. I mean, I'm honestly at this point, in this point of the year, I have to almost pull back on information because I feel like I have information overload and I haven't processed enough of it to put it into play. Like, I don't, just on me, I'm just like, I don't need no more how to do this, the best way to do that. I can't take it anymore. I have to take what I've absorbed and put it into play. I have to put it into action before I put some more best practice on top of it because I haven't practiced what I learned thus far. And it's like, on my brain, I'm serious. I got to go sit in a dark room for like 2 weeks, like, and just because I have so much, and I think maybe that's a thing too. I'm constantly reading and learning that there's so much that I'm like, all right, man, I gotta.
You got process between the conscious and the subconscious.
Yeah, well,
and so that's what that is.
That combo. Yes, we were programming the subconscious, but we had to do that. But I think we'll skip the regulation one, and I think we go to the exit. I think we go to that one, that plan.
That's pretty easy. Well, it's pretty easy, right? So you focus on. So in order to exit the business, who are you going to exit it to? Right? Because the business is basically bought off of revenue, profits, consistent revenue, profit margins, managing risk, and the relativity of the market share for a long term.
Yeah, that's one level. Let's say but then there's succession planning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But the question remains from the beginning, not necessarily your first year, but it doesn't hurt if you go in and you say, look, I'm gonna start this business. I give a story. My father told me this when I started a record store. Of course I didn't listen, but hey, whatever. So he was like, man, he told me, he was like, do it like you gonna sell it at some point. Basically build it like you were gonna sell it. I mean, I was whatever. 27. I ain't never selling it. What are you talking about? Like this, and that. Yeah. And because I didn't really understand that concept. And what we're talking about today is a lot of those concepts. Don't take you away from being what we call a key man. Because if you the key man, if nothing can work without you, then you can't never sell it unless you're gonna sell yourself. Like how you gonna sell the business that's all you. It's nothing for me to buy unless I buy you, and that's a whole nother subject. We were talking about this. So but you have to have an idea of your exit and what your exit would be. You have to know when it presents. Or is there going to be a succession? Either two. People love to think their children want it. I mean, that's it's rare. It's rare. But people also make the mistake thinking that selling, their children getting it means that their children have to work in it or put the same work that they did. Your children can own it. They have a whole nother career and still own it, and you have somebody that's the executive managing it. If you build it that way,
correct.
If you choose to, so there's an exit. I think what this question comes up and what it makes me think about is the number of businesses in our community that just end. The person gets tired, it's done. It's over. They're finished. It's finished. They get tired or they pass away. Or
it fails.
Well, failing, I mean, there ain't nothing to that's the ultimate. That's the quick exit. That's an exit plan right there. It fails. So I'm saying something that last people who worked for 30, they got a business like a restaurant, family restaurant. But it was anchored by matriarch, patriarch, right? That person passes away. Ain't nobody, I mean, people may not have taken the interest, but I'm saying the recipes, the methodology and all that was never passed on. I mean, it doesn't even be formally documented. Like no one knows how to run it. You kind of know because you've been watching, but you were never trained to run it. It wasn't set to run. And then the successful joint been there all the time. And the person, they done. They out.
Well, COVID kind of killed some of those long businesses too, right? So
yeah, a lot of them. I mean,
even successions.
Yeah, accounting tax practitioner. They this one person practitioner. That's it. One person. I was a couple of people. I think they called the person got ill and passed away. People didn't even.
Yeah.
There was no mechanism to even engage the clients to tell them they had to find out the person passed away.
Correct. We got a couple of those calls. Yeah.
So it was no succession. So those cases where, and I guess that's where it comes down the line for me between being self-employed, having a business, being an entrepreneur, something that I'm exploring more and more every day. Self-employed. That's like, well, you quit your job, you're done. I'm out. That's it. So if you spent all this time taking on the risk of doing something and then you finish, you passed away and it's done. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But thinking about it is an opportunity to be like, man, you know what? You could, even if you have employees, you could do an ESOP. Was an employee stock option plan or something where you can sell your business to your employees. Say you have something, your people been with you for a long time. Y'all have grown or whatever. You ready to be out. I'm done. And then you get blown up by, this is unbelievable.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah.
He just flung it open like,
yeah.
I thought he was going to walk on in 2 legs.
Yeah, I know the way he acting. But no, you could do an ESOP and the employees can actually buy the company from the founder. So you have various options on how to exit, but you have to have a plan in order to do these things. And you have to go into, and it's not something you come up with, after you get tired, and then you say, hey, you know what, I want out now, like this, and then you run and try to put it together in the last, a year or something. You had no plan. You have to have foresight. There's your word, foresight. But then But it has to be planned. It has to be intentional. Like you, and that's, I think today's questioning was all about intentionality and being really doing what you need to do. I mean, I'm just having a great day. I got this doggone, man, got the roto man here in my ear back here. Like, this is real good. So that answers the questions there. But yeah, but so that's for those of you that are close to that. And I mean, if you have, I think that's something you think about at a certain stage in your business. Not necessarily, I don't think you think about it like when you're at the end. I think you think about it when you've reached a certain level. You may not be done growing, but you think about it like, man, how I cash out. So how do I really cash out? Do I really want to do this until do I sell a piece to somebody else and I still get a check? Like, because I built something that runs. It runs. Like, this thing runs. And I could come in, or I mean, it's a lot of options if you build something that's functional. And that's what I think building a business where people get all into this stuff. Why I tell people retirement. Don't talk. No one should ask me about my retirement. I will retire when I expire. That's my answer. And the reason why is because I'm working to build stuff that, I mean, to make money. Like, to make money, let me clarify that. I'm not saying I just do it just to make money, but I'm trying to build things that generate funds and that become assets. If the company generates funds, then it's an asset, and I have maneuverability with it. And guess what else an asset is? A retirement account. But your retirement account ain't nothing else going in there. It's just the market, the way the stock market goes in there. I have a direct control over, say, and as hard as I work, as hard as it'll be. And so with my planning is that, I have various plans for various entities too. I'll tell you that, but it's it's a message. So I guess what I'm saying is, even now I think succession and exit plan right now. I mean, I'm nowhere near done. In some cases, haven't even started. But I get it because of what my father told me about that record store that I didn't follow. So this time I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So that's how it goes. So that's in the 300 level class. That you want to get on that. So we'll bring that out later. So, but that's that. That's our questions. That's our questions. Wait, you got something going on here. What's this?
Just just to kind of piggyback off of your thinking about succession planning. All right. There's 4 lines of sight. So Google it. There's oversight, there's insight, there's foresight, and there's hindsight.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to kind of dive into that, the definitions are the definitions, the meanings are the meanings. But how do we apply that at different levels? You know what to do. You know where to reach us.
Yeah.
You know how to reach
us. Let me run that banner. Well, you got the banner. You run the banner. And once again, I will reiterate the promo. Submit your questions about business, accounting, tax, anything around there to one of our social pages, and Heyward CPA, on Facebook or LinkedIn, or in the comments to the video here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, like the page, and you will be entered into a drawing to receive a prize in January. That's right. We're giving you 2 more weeks. We've got some submissions so far, but we give you 2 more weeks to get it. We're going to put something out on social media to have you, to remind people to go do this. And put it out there, and you get a chance to win a gift card.
December 30th.
Yeah. So we're gonna run in 2 weeks. I think, yeah, we'll do the announcement. This promo we'll do it on our New Year's end of the year event. We will announce the winners. So a winner up to 4 now. It's up to 4 winners. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't have to be 4. We don't get 4 good questions. So, and you do it. That's what I'm saying. We got this going down. So just go check it out. Tell your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I mean, if you real slick, you be like, yo, give me the question. If I win, I give you $5 and keep 20. I mean, whatever you gotta do. I don't know. I'm just trying to tell you how the hustle rolls. And yeah, let's get this going. Oh man, we're struggling. Let's get it going. And that's going down. So our December 30th, 2 weeks from today. We back at another end of the year. Wow. Crazy. So it looks good. It's wonderful. But that's all we got. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. That's on one, but put a question in there. Get a chance to get some bread, man. You'll get it in January. It'd be good. Something you spending all your money right now. I want to wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. But no, we'll be in effect. Oh yeah, at the end of Kwanzaa, we'll be on towards the end of Kwanzaa. Festivus for the rest of us. You got all that going down. So enjoy your holiday. Weather patterns are really out of control right now. It's like everywhere. I don't know. So you might have a white Christmas, theoretically. Some snow.
Or a wet one.
A wet Christmas, dry Christmas, just downright cold Christmas. And some people have tropical Christmas. Which is actually historically accurate, but we ain't getting into all that. So that's a whole nother day. That's
Saturday, not Sunday.
Yeah, but it doesn't even fit any of our programming to have
none at all.
No, we got that separate program for that. So, y'all, once again, we shall send out deuces from my man Drizzy over here who came through. I don't know. He just wanted to shout people out, but see, look, I got it. You ain't see what happened. All right. You ain't even see my man. All right. So we gone. Have a great one. Enjoy your holiday.
Enjoy your day. It's Saturday too.
Yeah, enjoy your Saturday.
You can't be safe in those streets.
Yeah.
It's pretty ugly out there.
Crib, like I am.
That too.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.